Niners. I mean, unbelievable win. Zach, what's your take here? This is an impossible victory on the road in LA, right? Impossible.
Just a crazy W. I mean, the amount of times that you thought either the Niners were going to win or the Niners were going to lose I lost count. I mean, including the beginning of the game where the Niners came out like gangbusters. Now, anytime the first scripted 20 or 40 plays or whatever, they're always going to look good. But, they looked early on like they were going to win this game. You figured the Rams were going to show some heart and come back. But, man, and then at the end, I mean, it definitely looked like it was over when Kyren Williams
rushing up the middle
was on his way to the touchdown. And, yeah, that's like the second time. Wasn't that just on Sunday? The same thing happened to a different team. They were running and they were about to score, and like right before the goal line, it got popped out. I forget who it was.
You always dream of that happening when you're on defense, thinking, "Oh, if we could just get that miracle turnover." We got a miracle turnover.
Yeah. So then you thought it was over for them. Then you think it's over for the Niners, but then they play very conservatively. They just run the ball, just to get out of their own end zone, basically, because he fumbled on like the 1 or the 2. And that
was a Shanahan move. That's a Shanahan move.
Well, that was
through and through,
especially on third down. On third down, you might, there's definitely an argument to be made for me passing because you knew it was going to be way too much time for Stafford. And then he comes down. They tie the game.
Draw
then
parallels.
They go into overtime.
Yeah. Parallels real quick.
Go ahead.
You've got why didn't we throw it on third down? Then we put them on the 50, and we luckily got a holding call, which even brought them back to the 50. Parallel to that is why on 4th and 1 with the game on the line with Matthew Stafford did the Rams not throw? They ran. I don't know, but I wouldn't.
Because it was 1 yard. It was 1 yard.
1 yard can feel impossible in the NFL at times, but hey, Kyren Williams is really wearing that shirt tonight.
Oh man!
He also had
between not getting that 1 yard and fumbling, he had some drops too. There was drops all over the place in this game.
Kendrick Bourne had an amazing game, but Ken Bourne was also available in a couple bad plays.
Yeah, and then how about Pinheiro kicks a 59-yarder, and then the one that wins it in overtime, of course, hits the upright. I mean, that was an absolutely insane game.
Got a doink. Yeah, I mean, it's a super memorable
game. But you know what? I have actually a hard time with this, and I'll ask you as like a hardcore Niner fan. Do you look at this 4-1 and just go, man, we are very fortunate to be 4-1? Or like, do you look at it a little greedy and go, or maybe the Jaguars aren't that bad, but losing to the Jaguars at home, are you not sitting there going, maybe we should be 5-0? And what I really want to ask you is, Mac Jones is undefeated. Brock Purdy had a pretty ugly loss, and I don't know if he rushed himself back because he was hearing footsteps or whatever, but I would say that in the very least, they've gotten to the point now, because Mac Jones didn't look amazing in his first 2 wins. In this game, he looked pretty damn good. I just wonder if in the very least they're getting to the point where they're going to have to wait until Purdy is absolutely 100%. Like, no bringing him back if he's 75, 80, but he can gut it out and play like he did in the Jacksonville game. In the very least, Mac Jones has earned the leash that you're going to tell Purdy, look, I know you want to gut it out, and I know how much you want to play, but you saw how you played against Jacksonville. Until you are absolutely 100%, we're going to roll with Mac. And even then, I wonder if they're going to, I don't know.
As the controversy begun, the 49ers knew controversy 35 years later. Here we are again. And of course, Art steps in right at the perfect time.
Yes, gentlemen, good to see you. Sorry I'm late.
But let me,
hey, Art, good to see you. Good.
Let me give you a response. Let me give you a response to your question.
Steve Young. It's not quite Joe Montana, Steve Young, but yeah, controversy maybe. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll answer the first question. Should we be greedy? Yeah, always be greedy, especially when you're playing with a limping Niners squad. You wish you had 5 wins because you never know when all of the luck might come back to bite you. So I wish they beat Jacksonville. I think they certainly could have. They were the better team that day, but they just made more mistakes. Some calls didn't go their way. I mean, we get into that all day. That Jacksonville game was tough to watch, and we were there in person. But the Niners right now, you're feeling grateful as heck that you're 4-1 because right now you just need to get healthy. Because if you get healthy, you're feeling like, damn, we can hang with anybody right now. I mean, our defense certainly looked a little bit a little bit exposed today, but I think it's also because the defense knows they got to step up because the offense just hasn't been as productive, even though kind of have been with Mac Jones. So it's a kind of a weird feeling right now as a Niner fan. You feel like you can throw any receiver out there and Mac Jones is going to hit him in the numbers as long as he stays healthy. Now, did the Niners rush back Purdy? No, I don't think so. I think actually Mac Jones might have been the more of the injured last week. And so they picked Purdy because he's healthy enough, but with turf toe, I think it's one of those things where it's just a pain threshold. He's felt like he could go. Yeah, maybe he rushed back. Maybe that pain threshold's too much, and they said let's go with Mac. So I don't know. I'm fine with having the 2 quarterback system for a while. It's working, and we were in the game. But right now, I think if Mac Jones is healthy, I play him again. I just say get everybody healthy. Whoever's healthy, stay in the game. But the Niners right now are limping, man. And if the defense starts to get hurt, where this season could just be down to 2.
Yeah, I mean, Niners are in a weird position because not the Niners, but this conversation, right? It's like hard to know if it's a controversy because it's like they're so injured that it's like the injuries are really dictating it right now. But I got to say, I was giving Jake some side eye last week at even mentioning a controversy. And 2 weeks later, and even though it's only been 1 week, right, we've got 2 Niners games. Shit, man, it's as close to a controversy as it could be. I mean, it's not quite because Purdy got paid and they're not going to want it to be a controversy. But damn, I mean, when you're just watching the Niners, Mac Jones is playing a little better than Purdy, clearly, a little. Like, you can't really argue Purdy looks better because Mac Jones tonight looked about as good as a quarterback can look. And it's just
is that my connection
to be in.
Oh.
I think you were frozen or something, so I couldn't tell you were trying to jump in. But yeah, give me one more second.
Oh yeah, I guess that. Yeah.
You got to fix that Orbi. It's still not getting you, huh?
No,
that's no good. We might have to go 770 on you. It's cutting in and out to good. It's fighting for you. It's fighting more than normal, but it's not getting you quite here.
You're still a pixelated fella.
Yeah, you're still pretty pixelated.
The mosaic of Zakariah. Go ahead, Art.
Now you look beautiful. So I don't really understand how you can really like functionally make it a real controversy, right? Like you paid the dude so much money. He is, unless you're going to just ride for 2 years and then pay Mac again. Yeah, I guess in theory, you know, Shanahan could be an absolute savage, decide he wants to go with Mac Jones, bench Purdy, and then just pay Mac Jones in 2 years. But that would be such a bold move that is just hard to imagine. So it feels like they're probably going to do what Dave, you said, play it super, super conservative would sort of show Shanahan's hand. Like if moving forward, he's just sort of like, nah, he's still, you know, he's still nursing that turf toe. We're good. And they're 5-1 and 6-1, you know, then it'll be clear that I think Shanahan's sort of liking what he's seeing and not really sure. You know,
it's one of those situations, Art, where the only way you have a quarterback controversy is if Purdy's injury continues to linger, Mac Jones takes this Niner team to a playoff run, and they go to, but more importantly, if they win a Super Bowl, now there's certainly a quarterback controversy.
Well, what about,
we're so Dave, far away from that right now.
What about, let's not go that far. Just give me, and I'm curious, both years, just give me, frankly, 6-1 and 2 more games where Mac Jones looks like this. Like, what's the conversation? I don't think it's really a controversy, but shit, 6-1 and 2 more games that Jones looks like this. What are we talking about?
I don't think so. I mean, Purdy had one game where he didn't play outstanding against Jacksonville. He played okay, and he had some bad plays, but it's not enough to sit the guy. You could just say, well, Purdy could probably do it too, and it's really just a matter of everyone thinks Shanahan's, you know, shit's gold bricks. And that's what it's just the system. The system is good, and he just plays the system well. I will say, though, he's just throwing a really nice football. Right on the numbers. He's hitting guys. His timing is really good. But Purdy's done that extremely well, too. But when he's not mobile, and Jake's made this point, when Purdy doesn't have the mobility, he's not on an equal playing field with Mac Jones. Mac Jones seems like a better pure passer and can read the field. But Purdy outside the pocket when you need him to be, he can get there. And there's a few times tonight when you wish it was a Purdy in there stepping up in the pocket and then escaping and running for 6 yards versus, you know, falling down or, you know, at the very end, we caught a nice glimpse of Mac Jones underpants.
Well, I mean, a couple of things. here. Number one, let's not forget Purdy didn't look great in week 1, even though they won in Seattle. And let's not forget last year. So it's not like Purdy has looked like when he was bringing them to the NFC Championship games and going to the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But the reason why this is so complex, normally when you have a quarterback controversy, you've got a scenario, like you said, 40 years later, where you have a younger guy in Steve Young and a guy that's still great and was great for you, but he's on his way out, and then you can make that transition, right? Favre and Aaron Rodgers had that in Green Bay, right? Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe in New England, right? Now, that was one of those ones where Brady just never gave it up, because even though he wasn't like as electrifying as Drew Bledsoe, he was winning all those games. Bill Belichick couldn't do anything about it.
I don't
The
know
reason
those
why
are controversies, but yeah, keep going.
Well, I'm just saying the transitions,
Changing of the guard,
so to speak,
Yeah.
are a lot easier. This one, first and foremost, I think what this says is it's very obvious, much like, I don't know if you guys know any Dolphins fans, but much like the Dolphins probably shouldn't have paid all that money, I think in the very least, we can all agree Purdy probably should not have gotten that big of a contract. Number one, because his upside is not big enough to be making that much. And number two, kind of what you're seeing now, perhaps there were other guys out there that they could have slid in there for a fraction of the price and been getting the same results. Now, to answer your question, Artie, 6-1, let me ask you this. Is Purdy 100% healthy?
Yep.
I think at
They're
that
gonna go
moment,
back to Purdy.
I think
Of course.
They'll go back to Purdy for sure.
If Mac has 2 more games and he is 4-0 on the year, and I think there's controversy there. I'm sorry. And I don't know exactly what you do contract-wise or whatever, and I'm not saying Mac Jones is going to win the Super Bowl or that he might even go on a big run. But until he stumbles, I think it is a Tom Brady scenario where it's like, until you give me a reason that I have to bench you, I'm going to let you keep going, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of flack if you put Purdy back in there and you have another absolute stinker like you did against Jacksonville at home. Those are my 2 cents.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say to really take the conversation further. That's when it gets complicated. 6-1, Purdy
you're
starts,
saying after that game.
lose.
After the Purdy
6-2,
yeah,
bad Purdy game.
Well,
now you're officially hitting controversy zone. Now
that's more where
I don't even think that's a controversy. See,
Yeah.
I don't think that's even a controversy then. You got to go to Mac Jones. I would damn near say that's actually a great question. I wonder if you put on the poll what, like 2 polls, what Niners fans would want them to do in that scenario and what Niners fans think they'll do in that scenario. Because I'm telling you right now, if that's my squad,
You want Mac.
Mac looks like he did tonight, 2 more games in a row. Who are their next 2 games, David?
They got Tampa Bay and God, what's the other one?
He beats Baker. He beats Baker. he beats Baker and the Bucks, and he beats whoever else. I don't even care who the other 2 teams are, but
We got
especially
Bucks,
if they're
and
like
we got Falcons.
Yeah, Bucks Falcons. Yep.
Yeah, he beats
on
Atlanta,
the road.
he beats
If he
Tampa,
can Zach, if he can go to Tampa on the road and beat the Bucks with this offense that he just got dealt, and he does it without the huge benefit of a lot of great defense, which not that the defense was super stellar tonight, but it was solid for playing a Stafford run offense on the road. Then yeah, you're starting to think, wow, this guy's his upside could be pretty incredible once we get all of our receivers back.
Yeah. By the way, no Ricky, no First and Juan, no George Kittle. This guy was out here with a born identity out here. Born identity was all I was thinking when he was just hitting it. How many catches did he have tonight?
He had 10 for 146, I think.
Incredible.
And he came out at the end and didn't even play on the last drive because he got hurt again.
Incredible.
Maybe he was out there, but he didn't make any. He didn't have any receptions. But
This was the best football game. Sorry, Dave.
No, you're right. It was an incredible football game. I mean, CMC played incredible. I mean, his little juke there at the end where he drew a guy inside just to get the wide receiver block to really work, and then he put it back on the outside again. Like, just amazing football players playing football tonight. And there was a great plays across the board on special teams, on offense, defense, every which way on both sides, both teams too. Their defense looked really good in the third quarter. I was like, oh shit, the Niners are done. They figured out our Shanahan's, all his plays are out, but yet it wasn't. There was a little bit of magic, and they figured out ways to get the ball where they were just dumping it over the middle. They had to go to the outside, and they did. But how many Niner passes were past 12 yards. I mean, there's a few here and there, but most everything was like between 3 yards and 10. And that was it. That was, I mean, that's
10-yard passes, but those 10-yard passes were like vintage 80s, 90s Niners passes.
Oh, yes, thread needles.
They were darts.
Yeah.
They were hitting people on the run. And I know they weren't getting tons of yak on all those, but they were, man, that was some of the most fun I had watching football in a minute. It was reminding me a little bit of old school football. You had a couple statues back there just absolutely slinging it, throwing absolute dimes all over the place. And to add to it, they were kind of beat up. Mac Jones limping off the field, gutting it out. It was just like, it was the closest.
Pants
to like
hanging down at his ankles half the time.
I felt like I had seen him forever. Just statues slinging it, looking hurt.
If only they played in mud, Art. If only they played it in mud.
Exactly. But that was, I also thought.
Yeah, I'll say this, Artie, to your point about
man.
I was just going to say, Artie, to your point about how exciting it was, there was probably 15 different times that you thought the game was over for one team or the other. Like, there was so many times during that game where I'm like, okay, well, the Niners got this. And then I was like, oh, well, the Rams won. And then it was like, oh, no, wait, what? How about that? Going to be tied? Oh, okay, well, they scored a field goal. Oh, well, they're going to score a touchdown. I mean, it was crazy.
Turning point of the game for the Niners, blocked extra point. That was unbelievable. I mean, you don't see that many blocks, but I mean, that was a have to have something. And I was about to go take out the trash and do some shit. And I was like, no, I'm going to stay and watch this. Thank God I did.
Well, I was watching with Levi, but I was doing some other things at the time. So I left for the touchdown, or after the touchdown. I saw the touchdown, turned my back. And then Levi's like, it's 2020. I'm like, are you sure? I think it's 21-20. He's like, no, 2020. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah, the field goal. He missed the kick. The kick didn't, and he's just learning. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, 21-20 or 2020. Shit. But you know what was also interesting? And then I'd love to, Starkey, hear some of your takes. But there's so many plays we could talk about. We haven't even talked about like specific plays in the game, and there were so many. But I think from thinking about like the conversations I hear on the pod when it's you two, Dave, Joe, and Jake, and all the shanty talk you guys have had, I thought this was a pretty hilarious Shanahan game because, like, at times you're watching this game and it was an absolute Shanahan masterclass. You're just like, what
First half, Art.
Coaching performance. Then completely some of the worst coaching decisions I've ever watched happen. And you're just like, this reminds me of Romeo Crennel on the Chiefs. Herm Edwards on the Chiefs, just absolute clown shit. Like that series, the conservative nature of run up the middle, punt to just allow, like, what? Like, I don't know, just like it was.
But see, Art, and I want to hear Joe on this one. That's Shanahan to a T. That three up the gut. You know he's going to run three up the gut and kick it and make it the defense's fault. He's not taking any chances down there. He's not putting his neck on the line. Go ahead, Joe.
That ain't going to win you a Super Bowl. That's going to lose you another.
Yep. Unbelievable. I thought we lost that game. We beat the 49ers easily. It felt like I was at the Cal Miami game last year, and I was just like, I can't believe Cal's up. This doesn't feel real. And then, just a wave, onslaught of the Miami Hurricanes just came and just enforced their will. They were just a better, stronger team. And that's how it felt tonight. I was like, well, the Rams are going to catch us. That's just inevitable. Oh, yeah. And somehow this cowboy, Mac Jones, just kept on that horse, baby, and brought us a W. I can't freaking believe that happened. Kendrick Bourne, 10 catches for 142. What's that?
Born identity, hoes. It was a born identity for Mac Jones. By the way, they went to commercial after the first touchdown that he threw, and they played like some song keep on rolling, kid, or something like that. And all I was thinking was, how do you not do Mac the Knife there? He's carving. Mac the Knife is the song you go to commercial to. I got big time.
You got a second career Z in production. You got big time second career in production.
I'm born again, Z.
Prime's broadcast is awful across the board. I mean, I like Herb Street, but in terms of pregame and postgame and like all the stuff that they do on the ins and outs, I'm not a huge fan.
Hey, Billy, you connected to that Orbi network? You sure you're connected on that Orbi network? You sure?
Yeah. Is
You
it
bring
still
that
freezing?
thing, a little bit. You bring that thing a few inches closer. We might have you half the time. You are beautiful, gorgeously HD, and we love your background. And then we go back to Mars. But anyway,
And then you're like being interviewed about a murder, but your identity needs to be kept quiet.
Exactly.
I have so many concerns for the 49ers, and they are 4-1. How is that possible? I mean, let's talk about the offensive line. They have zero push. You're talking about being on their own goal line, having to run the ball. They got no push, zero. They what is it? McKivitz is okay. Everybody else sucks. Trent Williams, he's too old. The Brendel, the center, getting just destroyed on every snap. Again, we have no push. A pass rush is all right. I mean, no pass rush. No, we have no line whatsoever on both sides of the ball. We're on.
Joe, didn't we talk about that before the draft? If there's one thing we wanted to see upgrades was get those lines stronger, and they seem to be weaker, especially with the loss of Bosa. But
I mean, it's a
Well,
miracle.
how about just in this game? Just in this game, think about all the injuries you had before, and then D. Winters went out for a minute, but he came back. Gross Matos went out with a hamstring. He did not come back. Mac Jones looked like he was going to be out for the year, and the backup was getting ready. And then Davis, defensive tackle Davis, went out with a hand, and he didn't return. Like, your team is a complete mash unit, and somehow you're 4-1. So, yes, you should have questions about your 4-1 team, Joe.
Well,
But this is what I was asking Dave.
Entire rooms of the team are in shambles. We the defensive line. There's nothing left. You said Gross Matos was out. I mean, we got nothing behind him. We're on practice squad, baby.
We had one grab that saved the whole game for us in the strip of Kyron Williams at the end of the game. There, that's it. That's all the defensive line could really do.
Alfred Collins, I think, was our chubby pick this year, and. Good Lord, what a play. I was thinking about this. Like, do I even want him to strip that ball? They might need to score and maybe give us a chance. Because I was thinking how we're going to have to punt this ball back and they're score on her.
So, Joe, this is one of those situations where Niners win 17-13, 26-21, 16-15, lose 26-21, win 26-23. All of these are high-intensity, heart-wrenching games. I don't see it changing, except that we could go to Tampa Bay and get blown out 40-7 next week. It could happen. I mean, probably not.
Like a nice close game. It's gonna be another close one next week. Don't worry about it.
It's just all season. It's gonna be like this.
Yeah. Well,
get ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be torture, right? I mean, didn't
down the fort. We just got to hold down the fort, and Kittle's coming back. That's something. Bosa's not coming back, but
it's Lord of the Rings at Helm's Deep right now. The orcs are closing in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, Torture won the Giants 3 titles in those even years. So, I mean, if you got to go through torture, but it gets you to where you want to go, then that's fine. I mean, bottom line is, yeah, there's tons of concerns, including the injuries, but 4-1 is 4-1. And that's what now? That's 3 games in the division. You're 3-0. You've taken care of all 3 of the teams in your division.
Huge. I mean, tonight's game,
2 on the road.
I think the Rams are a better team. Let's be clear. They're a better team than the 49ers are. At least today they were.
Today.
But somehow they did not win the game. And this counts like for a game and a half as far as I'm concerned. It's huge.
I agree.
I mean,
especially on a Thursday, quick turnaround.
Yeah.
You got 10 days to get healthy.
I think you look at
out there, go play as tough as you can in Tampa Bay. Like that, I heard all over Twitter and all these guys talking about, oh, it's no big deal. You lose this game and then you rest up and you get ready for, everybody was talking about it like it's a loss already. So to just it's like a lot of house money, you get that W, go get 10 days off, go get right, see how Purdy's toes feeling, keep that controversy going no matter what. That toe's not feeling right, coach, You get Mac out there, he delivers another performance, and that's gonna be fun. Baker versus Mac, couple of injured guys. Baker's real banged up right now. He's got a knee and a shoulder. You can see a whole nother one of these, just a couple of slingers out there,
a couple of statues.
Yeah.
Art, I think to your point, keep the controversy going. I want the controversy all year. I want 2 quarterbacks both playing well, both vying for each other's positions. I mean, it's the utility position concept for baseball, but at the quarterback position, sure, I'll take it. Better than 2 guys who can't play, and you're like, I don't know who's going out there, but I'm not looking forward to it. Right now, I can't wait to watch either guy go out because you know you're going to get their best. They're going to play every game like it's a playoff game because they want that job. And I don't think Purdy thinks he doesn't have it, but he's starting to get a little nervous.
It's a great problem to have, Dave.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate this. In the very least, Mac has made it 100%. We're, Joe, I don't know, had you joined in when we were talking about whether or not there's going to be controversy, but in the very least, Mac Jones has made it so that everybody on that staff and in that organization goes to Purdy, takes him into another room or whatever, and just tells him, look, we love you. You're our guy. You're our franchise guy. We paid you and compensated you accordingly, but you don't let us know that you're ready to rock until you are absolutely 100%, because we're getting by with Mac Jones. You don't have to worry about your job, but do not be coming back and trying to gut it out when you're not 100%.
Yeah, can I just say, Dave and I were at the game on Sunday against Jacksonville, and between every timeout, every stop of the action, every TV timeout, Purdy was going, "Hey Mac, I need some tosses," and they were warming up the whole game. He didn't feel right. Yep. He should not have played that game. Mac Jones is throwing a nice crisp ball. I was getting practice all week. He's throwing it high. He's leaving it high because his toes not coming down. He's feeling uncomfortable. Whatever. He looked like crap. He was just lofting the ball and he couldn't move. The reason why Purdy at the end of the day is a little bit of a better quarterback than Mac Jones, in my opinion. It's not because he can read the defense better. I think it's because he can elude the pass rush. He can move and scramble a little bit. Mac Jones can't do that. So at the end of the day, I am a Purdy guy here. But in this last game against Jacksonville, it's a huge mistake letting Purdy say I can play. You got to take that decision out of his hand.
Damn good Stafford impression, no?
Say again, Art?
I said Mac Jones was doing a pretty damn good Stafford impression, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, ask the question to Joe. Put the question to Joe about what are the Niners, if the Niners are 6-1. I want you to you formulated it really well, and I want to hear Joe's response to that.
Oh yeah, we were talking about different scenarios, Joe, and basically we were just saying if they win the next two and they're 6-1, number one, I would want to put a poll up on Twitter for the Niners fans to tell me what they would want them to do and what they think they will do. Artie thinks it's a no-brainer that they're definitely going back to Purdy even if they're 6-1. I think it's damn near a controversy there. Artie thinks it's a controversy if they do go back to Purdy when they're 6-1 and they lose that next game. Then he thinks it starts. What say you?
I think
it's Purdy's job.
Purdy's healthy. Yep. We made up the scenario. Purdy's healthy at 6-1 fully, and he's like, I'm ready to rock.
Yeah.
How many bad games does Purdy have to have before you go back to the Mac Jones well?
That's a good question.
Joe.
Yeah,
that's a good question. Two.
So
I mean, varying degrees. So, if they're just two duds, if he plays like he did at Jacksonville, maybe three.
Three. What if Mac Jones has two more games like tonight, and he's just boom crushing it? You're 4-0 with
Mac Jones is. Did you see him? He looks like he's on his deathbed too.
Yeah, no, that's the funny part about
that's not instilling
Mac Jones probably isn't available next week. We're gonna see what's his name, Martinez.
Yeah, Adrian Martinez.
Martinez is tuning up next week.
Well, you saw Mac on the ground.
What if he throws 4 touchdowns?
He was done. He looked like he was trying to reach inside his brace and put his leg back on. It did not look pretty. I was like,
well, he was cramping up.
Martinez
He was cramping up. I think the gear he had on was maybe not letting the blood flow as well as it should have. He got the calf cramp. He looked rough, but he ran off the field. I think he's okay. But to your point, yeah, I mean he gets one bad hit, and a guy who sits in the pocket like that with this offensive line, someone's going to get through every once in a while and clean his clock out. If he can't stand back up, and Adrian Martinez has to take the field, holy shit.
All right, we gotta slurp the coaching staff a little bit here.
Unless he balls, then you have a three-way controversy. I just want to add this little tidbit about Shanahan, and I'm a bigger Shanahan guy than most of the people that I talk to in the Bay Area or whatever. I'm very big on Shanahan, but I don't think there's a coach in the league that looks more miserable than Shanahan. The only time I saw him smile was after the game was over. But just in general, the guy looks like I would love. Remember when they did a before and after of Obama from before he went into office, and his hair was all gray and he looked like that. I would love to see what Shanahan when he got hired by the Niners and he was all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and what he looks like now. He looks like he's on no sleep. He's mad at everybody all the time, and then when he smiled when they won, I was like, oh, there's a little joy.
Z, I think they have that actually. I think I've seen an Instagram of a before and after, and he does look wildly younger, and it's about the same amount as
weathered.
about 9 years. So you're about the same time.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You know who still looks good? Andy Reid. He looks good every year. He's smiling ear to ear
because he looks the same.
Having himself a good old year. He says, "Look, I got my boy Patty. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take a I always accidentally take a
maybe Andy will.
Except when he's beefing with Kelsey. When he's beefing with Kelsey,
they love it. They love a good beef. Kelsey and Travis, they're fine.
I want to see Artie.
What were you saying about coaching? You started talking about something about coaches. Didn't I hear you say that?
I want to talk about coaches. I want to slurp these coaches a little bit. Good.
Bob
Saul has not given up.
Has
not given up not a point in the first quarter. Five games, no points in the first quarter.
Yeah,
he's doing. His defense looks like pretty mediocre, but they're getting it done every time. Close game in the fourth quarter. All the games have been close, so they're 4 out of 5. Yeah. He's doing magical work. I don't know. And then today with Shanahan, the way he started off on that first drive, then going up 14-0, he knew exactly what he was doing. Those little screen passes to McCaffrey. I mean, that's all we had.
Third drive worked too. That was just that Bourne drop. Remember, they were still cruising. Everything was going.
Yeah. That Bourne drop was bad. That was another momentum swing. There was a lot of big momentum swings, and those drops on third, like the easy catches that both Kyron missed and Bourne missed were like, but then Bourne played so well in the game, you can't be mad at the guy.
Yeah. Special teams, Pinheiro.
Yeah, there was misses on both sides. The Rams had a bunch of drops, and the other thing that I found to be very funny is like going into the game, they were talking about how well Shanahan's teams plays against McVay's teams, and in the middle of the game, both coaches were very aggressive in terms for going for it on fourth, and then towards the end of the game and a little bit in the beginning, both coaches were completely trepidatious. Like like the play, it was all of a sudden like the stuff that had gotten them there, they were abandoning. And I know that it changes based on time and score and stuff like that. But I often think like, if this is what you do, if this is how you roll, don't just change it up because of, the situation all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's where our boy Shanahan gets a little tight. He's been known to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate the tush push.
When you're up 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
A lot of situations in this game, if you had a tush push, you'd be getting some you'd be having another series. That tush push both teams could have used some tush pushing today. And I hate
100%.
I don't know. I think everybody notices it when they watch a game now, right? 4th and 1, you don't get it. 3rd and 1, you don't
there was some tush pushing today, Art.
I mean, there was early on the Mac Jones semi-tush push. Yeah.
If you know you're going to run, you're going to run that play,
3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 consecutively with injured ass Mac Jones, I thought it was going to be a problem.
I was laughing. He had just fallen limp on the ground and then got asked to just go run some sneaks.
If you know you're going to run a sneak,
let's go lay down under like 1,200 pounds of human right now. Go ahead.
I don't understand why they can't have CMC just take the snap. If you know you're going to push tush, like why not put a guy there who's a better runner? Like it doesn't, if it's obvious, like, do you need the fake concept? Like obviously for the Eagles, you got a running back who's playing quarterback. So whatever, I get it, but put somebody who can actually run the ball. I don't know.
I don't think it mattered, Dave, today. Did you see Juice try to, was it 3rd and 1 from the goal line? He just stuffed. Nobody was moving at all. Yeah. So
our run offense is horrendous this year. We might be 20 in the
I
league.
don't think we're going to run up the middle one more time. Sorry, Brian Robinson Jr. It was nice having you, but we can't use you.
Let me ask a question. I was chatting with Joe about this when the Niners had the ball at the goal line after they had gotten the miraculous fumble recovery, ran the ball 3 times stupidly. I said, Joe, on 4th down, instead of punting and giving them phenomenal field position to let them kick a game-tying field goal or win the game on a touchdown, why not catch the ball as a punter, take a few more snaps off the clock, take a knee in the end zone to take the safety, and then kick it and put them back an extra 20 yards and make them win the game with a field goal or a touchdown in that case. But
So
with the way that, thoughts? Is that a reasonable concept?
So it was like what, 45, 50 seconds left in the game, and you got you no longer are up 3 points, you're up 1 point. And then you're kicking off to them. So all they gotta do is get a field goal, no timeouts. But then when you're kicking it off on a safety, I think you're kicking off from like your 10-yard line or something like that.
It's actually different now because the Niners had that safety with Mac Jones, and they don't punt it anymore. You just do a kickoff, but it's from further back. And I think most kickers can still put it in the back of the end zone and put you on like the 35. So it's a little bit of we should look that up. But I mean, from a strategic standpoint, the way the Rams were moving the ball with such ease, I mean, it's like get them as far back as possible.
To answer your question, that was all over the text thread that Art and I are on with a bunch of Niners fans, and some of them were hollering to take the safety. There's no way I'm doing that because I don't want to put the ball in Stafford's hands when all he needs to do is get a field goal. And by the way, this field goal kicking thing has gotten completely out of control. A 59-yarder is nothing. The Cowboys purposely took a 65-yarder, and you know what? I got to the bottom of it. I heard it somewhere. I forget. I'm sorry to not source it because I forgot who said it, but they said that what they're doing is they've changed the way that they handle kicking balls. So for forever, balls have been the kicking ball is different than the ball that they use. But what they used to do is you would get 3 and the officials would have it, or the people on the sideline or whatever, and then they would rough it up and the people would practice with it or whatever. Now they're giving it to the team, and the team is just like doing whatever they want to it, and when it comes out, it's completely fresh. So it's more about, I mean, and I'm sure bigger, faster, stronger is what happens over time, sure, right? So I'm sure it's also that the kickers are stronger and are better. But I'm telling you, it's more about, because this thing just happened this year, and I didn't notice the ridiculousness of the field goal kicking until this year.
Interesting. It's kind of like the 104.5 mile an hour fastball that Mason, what's his name, threw today for the Padres. So like, this shit is unhittable. What are we, Mason Miller? Like, what's the MLB going to be? Just guys throwing flames and other guys hitting jacks, and that's it? Like, the game's out of control. The fastball is ridiculous. Yeah. 104?
Can we go back, though, 1 second real quick? Yeah. I don't even understand why they're letting teams do this and why that changed for kickers. I've never understood why they let quarterbacks do it. And why is there not just a football that is being used and 10 or 20 of them?
Totally agree.
And both teams dirty, and if it's a little muddy, we can throw it off. And you could. I do not understand why
everybody's got to deal with it, though.
One ball.
Yeah.
Wow. It's not the blog, the one ball blog.
It's also why in baseball have you?
Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just gonna say, you know how many balls they go through in baseball? If the ball literally just like barely hits the dirt, they toss it out and there's a new ball. They go through like 500 balls in a game. I'm with Art on this. You get one football, both teams use it, both teams throw with it, both teams kick with it.
Yeah. Maybe you replace it at halftime because it's gotten a little soft, or you pump it up a little bit and you check the pressure every once in a while. But for the most part, why are we using more than one? It's just asinine.
If I'm Roger Goodell or Paul Tagliabue, I take a little air out of that ball. I don't like all these long field goals. When you're in Colorado, you put it in the dehumidifier or whatever. I gotta change it up a little bit. I don't like seeing 65-yard field goals.
Maybe they should change to the Canadian
rule. I liked it at first.
You kick it into the stadium, you get into the stands, you get a point. Isn't that the rule? If you kick it out of the end zone or into the stadium or something?
Yes.
What is it? How do you kick it
out of the?
That can't be a.
Yeah, that's a real rule.
I got rid of it this year. It's over now. But you could kick it out of the end zone, like into the stands. If you got it like into the stands, you get 1 point. And so
if you're tied, you're just crushing it. You're not even trying to kick the field goal. You're just crushing that thing.
Exactly.
That's stupid. No Canadian rules, please.
Well, I'm like showing my son the rules of football today, and it's just like constantly watching field goals. That's what a lot of the game is. Just we'll see if he can kick a 59-yarder. By the way, Eddie Money, pretty nice to have him on the squad. Like that guy, Eddie De Niro Pinheiro.
A little lucky. A little lucky off the post there, bud.
Yeah, well.
All right, so I'm going to give you the rule on the punt. You kick it from the 20. You can place kick. You can punt. But you can't use a place kicking holder, the tee. So,
from what yard line?
From your own 20. So it'd be like punt. So in essence, you're getting an extra, at that point, probably 16, 17 yards. And you have space and no one trying to block you. So you can really let a rip. And if you punt and you put enough air in it, you could probably get a guy to have a pretty limited return. So I don't know. Maybe you put them back on their own 25, 30-yard line.
Yeah,
so it would have been like a 20, 25-yard difference.
Like the 35, Dave. Stafford at the 35 with 40 seconds to go. No timeouts. I think he can get in field goal range pretty easy.
I'm not letting Stafford have that opportunity. Hell no.
Now he was carving too. He was carving.
And that's a field goal to win the game.
Chunk play for
fair.
10 minutes.
You've talked me out of it.
I think Shanahan aced it. Great job, Shanny.
I think Shanahan and McVay both choked many times at the end. Or at least Shanahan. Shanahan choked a few times and just got away with it, but he coached a hell of a game and he's coaching a hell of a season. That's why he's funny to me this year. And I'm a Shanahan supporter too. I think I see his flaws, but
he's out there. If this is a chess match, he's got like a bunch of pawns and he's got CMC and that about it. And I don't know. He's still making it work. He's got Kendrick Bourne.
That's what's so good about him. If you give him his
I don't know how he's doing it.
The problem, if you give him his players back, he's still going to get tight up 6.
It's going to be the same team with just a little bit more talent.
So it's a little bit weird.
You got to give him a little credit.
Totally.
They're 4-1, and all these games are tight, and he's coming out on top.
Niners look good, man. I think everybody, Nick Who, defense played great. I'm just okay. I don't know. I don't love
second, third level. We're good, but you can't. That defensive line, man, is
okay. That's right. So I think the offensive line is a problem, but maybe they can figure it out. The defensive line, we cannot. We need to get somebody in free agency. Make a trade.
Actually, let me clarify. The defensive line actually is playing well on one part, which is the run D. The run D has been solid. That's also backed by two phenomenal linebackers. But that's really important because it forces them to just be a passing team, but we have no pass rush. And so a guy like Stafford can carve us up. So if you face one of those great quarterbacks, we're up shit's creek.
Stafford had all the time in the world today, and there's a lot of possessions where he couldn't find anybody.
Credit the great defensive backs we have and that we're creating right now, but it's not sustainable, not in a shootout.
Yeah, and these rookies are playing really well. Upton Stout and Marquise Siegel, like these guys look like studs.
So when do the Niners have a bye?
Week 14.
Oh man,
we got a while.
Well, we got a nice a week and a half off here. We'll use that.
I was more asking to play like a game around like what's their record going to be at the bye and what would you be happy with. But man, I don't want to play that game if we got to go to 14 weeks. That's a tough game.
I like to break the season up into quarters, and I feel like this kind of was the first quarter of the season. Maybe you could argue that it was last week, but because of the short week, being 4-1 is a gift. The next 4 will be the next quarter. If the Niners can go 2-2, you're feeling pretty damn good because most guys should be, barring new injuries, should be coming back. And so it was really we were talking about it last week, is let's just see how we can get past the first 6 games, because that's when you get Ayuk. I think Kittle's supposed to be back next week, or at least it's sounding like he might be, but maybe they'll hold him back one more week because of the win. Obviously, Bourne's shown to himself to be better. I think Pearsall, his injury was just enough to be nicked and bruised. He should be coming back. But I think week 6, everyone should be healthy again, barring new injuries. And so you can have a pretty good wide receiving core. I mean, at least a lot of guys, maybe nobody who you can point the finger at and say he's, an all-pro. But I feel pretty good. And the tight ends, Farrell and Tonjes, have been playing fantastic without Kittle.
I like this. Tonjes is great.
They're making.
As long as you keep stacking wins, I was just gonna say, as long as you keep stacking wins, your team looks damn near like too deep. Like you get Ricky back, and then you get Ayuk back, and Bourne keeps playing like this, and Juan first down or whatever you call Jennings. And you get all those guys back. Now you got a crowded wide receiver room. But yeah, I mean, look, bottom line is 4-1 is 4-1. It's not the most convincing 4-1. It could easily be 0-5. It could also be 5-0. I think probably more realistic. You look more probably like a 3-2 team than a 4-1 team, but whatever. In the NFL, you don't make any apologies for victories. And all this is, like you said, and especially because here's the underrated part about when your team is hurt, but you keep winning. All those people that are backups or don't have as big of a role, all of a sudden feel real confident and good when they need to step in, including a Mac Jones
100%.
or a Bourne or any of those guys that are all of a sudden, then they start feeling like they're starters. And when your backups are feeling like starters, then you've got something.
You got something.
Shanahan has made it abundantly clear. Everyone can join the party except for one man. Brian Robinson, you're not invited. If you want to do it, we can brought you in. But you don't need to suit up for us. You should just wear some sweat. Chill out. We don't need to do that.
What is
He's
Brian
the greatest
Robinson?
decoy.
Christian McCaffrey can't run through the line. How could Brian Robinson do it? It's just not
Doesn't matter.
happening.
You can just use him. You can just pretend he's on the
Well,
team.
we use him sometimes, and it's not going anywhere because there's nowhere to run.
Yeah,
He
I
can't
bet
run
you
up
if
to
you let him
the
run
tackles.
30
There's
pass
there's
routes and
nothing.
pass it to him 30 times, he might catch 12 of them too. This guy's in love with McCaffrey. I would say the one thing Mike Shanahan is doing poorly, and everyone can argue he's not, is overusing McCaffrey, over-relying on one dude. It's like, and like Jake says it all the time, there's a reason fools get hurt. Yeah, he's like, Mac Jones just got hurt, give me 2 sneaks. Fucking Christian McCaffrey coming out.
Give me 2 sneaks.
Make him the highest utilized player in the NFL by the longest shot you can possibly come up with. We're just every play going to give McCaffrey the ball. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, I watch it. I'm like, damn. I had him on my squad last year for fantasy. Why wasn't it this year? But, like, is that the right thing to do? Or, like, should they maybe give 5 of those to D-Rob?
What did Dave just say, though? He said he's looking at his chessboard and he's got McCaffrey and a bunch of pawns. You'd be using the shit out of McCaffrey too. Really, all you had. If Kittle was out, your number 1 wide receiver, Ayuk is on the IR. Juwan Jennings, who's supposed to be your possession guy, slot guy, whatever, he's out. I mean, all those guys are out. You got to use the shit out of CMC.
I think Shanahan really truly believes he's just playing a video game all the time and doesn't believe any of these people are human. He touched the ball 31 times. McCaffrey, 31 touches tonight. 22 rushing,
with
8
sentiment,
receptions.
though. I mean, I got a decent team, and we are this close to just calling it for the season. I mean, a few times giving it to Brian Robinson when it's trying to drain some clock, and you're obviously running.
Like,
give it to Brian Robinson.
Yeah, give him a series here or there. One series a game. And a few other carries. Like, that's all watching the way they use McCaffrey looks like if we were watching an MLB team and there's just one manager in the major league that lets his pitchers throw 160 pitches. Just doesn't listen to the change. It's like, don't care. I don't know what to tell you. These guys are horses. They're fine. They've been telling you they're fine. I'm telling you their arms look good. And maybe they're right? Like, a lot of people say Major League Baseball soft.
Nolan Ryan pitched like 9,000 innings in a year. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
He's the LeBron James in the 2015 finals right now. Let's play him 43 minutes. Fuck it.
It's like Jim Leland just smoking a heater saying, Doug Draback, you got it. Just go after one more time.
I need 330 innings out of you this year, pal.
Leave him in there. Let me ask you guys this, because I think about this a lot when it comes to Shanahan and Lynch. Do you think that we are looking at those 2 pieces being in place for like 20 years? Is this like some Pittsburgh Steeler, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin type shit where like he's like, because I can't see any scenario in which either of them get canned, but also I know that there's a high standard, and the standard is Lombardi trophies in what used to be San Francisco, but now Santa Clara. The standard is Super Bowl trophies. So like, I just wonder, at what point have we ever heard about their jobs being in jeopardy? No, right? I mean, they're just going to keep getting extended because they're always going to be relevant.
I mean, if you want Shanahan to look like Al Pacino today in 10 years, yeah, maybe we'll keep him for 20 years, for another 10. He's just going to age ridiculous.
It doesn't help that Shanahan's got all these great excuses with the injuries. I think he's got a couple years.
I think Shanahan does. I mean, to answer your question directly, I think they are one of those pairings. I think, and part of the reason is because he is so good. Like, I think he's too good to have like 3 bad years in a row. I think he's, I mean, I guess the scenario where he had 2 bad years in a row and these Niners fan, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, things would get murky for him. But like, yeah, like unless you're doing a clear upgrade,
Agreed.
like, are you really going to get rid of Shanahan and go with some like new college coach? Or are you really going to go with like Shanahan and some like semi-proven NFL coach that's like really never? No, like the only way you could see it is if it was like, I mean, I don't even follow coaches enough but maybe I do. Maybe there aren't that many because I wanted it to be a young guy, right? Like I don't think they would go get Andy Reid after the Chiefs. I don't think they'd go get
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson's a
Ben
prick.
Johnson
No,
who
they're
went,
not going to
who
get
went
Ben
from
Johnson. Ben Johnson's such a little
First of all,
dickhead. Nobody
do you
wants
know
Ben
Ben Johnson
running
personally?
anything.
How is Ben? How do you know that Ben Johnson is a prick? What are you basing
He's
that on?
looking like a prick. Every interview he has, he looks like a prick. Nobody wants a prick as the face of their organization.
Okay, he looks like a prick. You have nothing else to back it up. Anyways,
No,
when
I don't
they
mean
hired
look
Shanahan,
like. I mean, he's
it
a
was-
jerk. I mean, he's a jerk. I mean,
Okay.
that's what I mean. He's a
All right,
jerk.
fair
You don't need a
enough.
jerk.
Fair enough. When they hired Shanahan, granted it's a little bit different because of his father, but he was the most up-and-coming offensive coordinator for the Falcons who blew a 28-3 lead, and maybe they should have taken more stock into that. But my point is that could be a guy that they hire. Like the offensive coordinator for the Ravens the defensive coordinator for the Ravens went to the Seahawks. The offensive coordinator for the Lions went to the Bears. The defensive coordinator for the Lions went to the Jets. I don't know, somebody like that. I mean, their last hire in Shanahan is exactly what I think they would probably do again. I mean, there's no old guys out there. Cowher's not coming off the couch.
The one guy I could see it happening, he has a couple bad seasons and maybe like Kevin O'Connell's available. You know, Kevin O'Connell's contract's coming up. Shanahan's had a bad year. You see it as like an upgrade or something. But like, I think it would be hard to just be like, I'm out and I'm going to get like a dude or even like one of these are these offensive coordinators working out? I mean, I feel like I follow well enough to know that a lot of them aren't working out. Like over the past
Shanahan's the offensive coordinator. Everyone else is a puppet. Their face.
Right? Like kind of. A lot of these guys are going places and failing, right? And then
they're there to make recommendations, and Shanahan calls the play.
Oh, no, sorry. Let me rephrase, Dave. I meant was a lot of these OCs that have been promoted and become head coaches in the past 5 years. I feel like that is like a little trend. Like Zach is saying, right? If you have a hot offense, you're kind of a hot commodity. Are they doing well? Like, who are the ones that are doing well? It's O'Connell was one of them, right? Is he one of them that was like a hot OC? And then are there others that like
Shanahan was? He was one, right?
Totally. Are there other hot
Ben
OCs
Johnson for Detroit
right now? Or do we not really know as a group? Hot offensive coordinators that they're
I'm trying to rack my brain of who. Well, first of all, the Chiefs have won all the damn Super Bowls.
There's like that Kingsbury dude who sucks, right? There's that dude. There's that bum.
Well, he's a good offensive coordinator. He was a bad coach. Yeah.
Wasn't that bum in LA/San Diego supposed to be an offensive coordinator guy, or was he not?
God, the guy that got ran out of San Diego. Yeah.
Terrible.
LA.
Wasn't he supposed to? Anyway, maybe we don't know.
He was terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't know if
McVay was a coordinator. He won a Super Bowl. McVay was just like Shanahan.
What was Sirianni on the defensive side or offensive side before getting head coach job for Eagles?
I want to say defense.
How about that Mike McDaniel?
Yeah, terrible, right?
He's the odds-on favorite.
I mean,
he's the odds-on favorite in Vegas to get fired first. He's a good coach. He's kind of like Shanahan. He's a good coach. It's not his fault that all went down the shitter. It went down the shitter because Tua can't keep her.
He can't be the face.
Sirianni was the Colts offensive coordinator before he became the Eagles head coach 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. There you go. And he's got a
bowl 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
I feel like 5 years ago, the Colts offense was asinine, just thinking to the NFL. But anyway.
Yeah, it probably was. They might have still had Frank Gore.
You're just mad because we gave you a bunch of good examples when you asked for some examples about offensive coordinators. McVay and Sirianni have both won Super Bowls.
I think the bottom line is
and
it's
Kyle's
not easy company being an NFL head coach. You know, people trash Shanahan all the time, but the guy wins some games.
Yeah.
Better than Tom Sula.
Or Mike Singletary. Ooh, Dennis Erickson.
Yeah.
Some rough
Mike
years in
Nolan.
there.
Playoffs? Oh no, that was Jim Mora, huh?
It's Jim Mora. Yeah.
They kind of look like each other though. I went Dennis Erickson on the playoffs. That was flag on me.
Lightweight, yeah.
Flag
Old
on
guys
me.
with gray hair.
Old guys with gray hair, you know.
Zach,
Well,
you excited about this Cal Bears game against the Duke Blue Devils? No, not excited at all.
Are they any good this year, Duke?
I couldn't
Duke,
be.
yeah.
Well, Cal's 4-1.
I mean, I was really excited until they got blown out 48-0 to San Diego.
Yeah, they did a nice tough win last week. 1-0 in the ACC.
Yeah.
Who are they playing in the ACC? Oh, Boston College. That whole thing's ridiculous, though. Cal playing all the
Cal
East
playing
Coast
North Carolina. I'll never understand that. Yeah.
So what are your favorite games of the week this week for the NFL? We got Kansas City at Jacksonville. We got Detroit at Cincinnati. We got New England at Buffalo. We got Washington at the San Diego Chargers. I refuse to call them LA. These are all actually pretty good games. The rest
That
are
might be
kinda
good.
bad.
What happened to the Chargers last week?
Chargers last week lost.
East
didn't they?
Coast. 10
Yeah, they
a.m.
lost. I
start
thought
in
they were
Cali.
good. What happened?
Oh yeah, they lost to the Giants,
10
right?
a.m.
Dart. That was funny.
Dart.
The
This is
10
kind of
Chargers.
a.m. 10 a.m. Cali time.
Can I say that the
West Coast team
the
on the East Coast? Yeah,
Texans
that happens
Ravens
a lot.
is a pretty big game because they're both 1-3, and both of them should have been considered playoff teams at the beginning of the season. So that'll be an interesting one to see how that shakes out. I
Is
feel like the
Lamar
Ravens
Jackson
are
playing?
going to have to win that game.
Is Lamar Jackson playing?
Yeah, is Lamar out?
Yeah.
Not sure. Is he? He remains out of practice
think-
as of today.
I think
So-
he's out. Yeah. These games suck. All these games are terrible. Dolphins, Panthers, Raiders, Colts. Oh,
We have-
Broncos,
we have
Eagles
a
might be good.
beautiful. We have a hell of a Monday night showdown. Just a beautiful, beautiful game on Monday night. We get to all watch.
It must be the
That'll
Chiefs.
fun.
What is it?
Go Jags after
That'll
beating the
be
Niners.
That'll
Go
be
go
real
get
fun.
some Lawrence action.
Oh, Bucks, Seahawks will be good.
Yeah, Bucks Seahawks is sort of
But
the
look
game
at
of
this.
the week. Yeah.
It's a lot of non-division games.
Titans, Cardinals,
Yawn City.
Vikings, Browns with like
talk baseball
third
playoffs.
string quarterbacks.
I mean,
Giants,
Washington versus
Saints,
LA is good.
Cowboys,
Oh,
Jets.
baseball
This is the
playoffs.
ugliest slate I've ever seen. This is the
No.
ugliest slate of games I've ever seen in my life. Everyone I see, it gets worse. Lions, Bengals, Cowboys, Jets,
I
Giants,
see some
Saints.
gems.
These
I
are
see some
terrible.
beautiful games. I see some beautiful games. You got Minnesota against the Browns. We get to watch Judkins just grind it out. We get to watch the beginning of the Dylan Gabriel area or whatever his name is. Daniel Gabriel. What's his name? He seems like a prick too. I don't like him. Daniel seems like an
What
absolute
did
prick.
Gabriel do?
What do you mean,
The
what did
guy from
Gabriel do? Just
Oregon, what
listen
did
to the
he
guy.
do?
I mean, do a couple interviews. You're not going to like
Look
that
at the
guy. You
guy.
listen to him. If you listen to him, he's annoying.
All right, quick pick, fellas. There's now 8 teams in the MLB postseason.
Yeah.
Who is your pick to win, or at least who's your showdown in the World Series? And tell me who you got.
Well, give me a little rundown of.
I'll give you the
who's left.
rundown.
The Yankees just
All right.
beat the Red Sox, so they.
That's right. They advance. All right, here we go. I'll
Love
just
my
read on the
Bronx
list I
Bombers.
see. We got Cubs, Brewers. We got a clash of the NL Central. That'll be great. A lot of beer drinking idiots will be out there. That'd be fun. I think Joe's excited for his Cubbies.
Did you end up picking the Cubbies in your
Go
draft?
Cubs, go! That's right.
You went with the Cubbies.
Go Cubs,
So your
go!
favorite player in the major leagues is Imanaga?
No, I like Nico Horner. He's the Oakland second baseman.
Okay.
Not
How
to be
do you feel
confused
about
with the
PTA?
A's, but a second baseman from the city of Oakland that plays for the Chicago Cubs.
Is-
Right. Shit.
Uh,
They got a lot of good players in the Cubs. I like them.
we got Blue Jays, Yankees. So another AL East matchup for the Yankees. Phillies and Dodgers will be the most interesting series and the only series I'll really pay attention to. Go Phils. My boy Stevie Mack. We'll be cheering alongside him.
What is the obsession with Giants fans only paying attention to what the Dodgers do in the playoffs when they're eliminated? I feel like that's all you guys care about. What did the Dodgers do?
Yeah, that's how much we hate them. I mean,
I hate the Patriots. And all I did was root against the Patriots in the playoffs. Now, it didn't go too well for me, but I felt like I won the Super Bowl when the Eagles beat them and when the Giants beat them twice. Yes, that's what you do when you have. I mean, Dolphins are in the AFC East. The Patriots, you root against the team that you hate once your team's not in it.
No, you certainly root against the team you hate, but out of all the games, you're just looking for the game with your arch nemesis. That's what I don't understand. I'd be like,
100%.
I could have watched all these playoff games.
I don't know why it's so hard to understand. It seems pretty obvious to me.
Yeah.
I know.
Give me some of that Dodger hate.
Very obvious.
Yeah. And then the last series.
Now that I'm not in LA, like if I'm not in SoCal and Santa Barbara, there were hella Dodgers fans, so I felt it more. In the Bay, I'm not around with all these LA cats, so it doesn't strike me the way it used to. Like I'm kind of like whatever, ain't nobody bothering me about the Dodgers. I
don't hate the team. I don't hate the team because of the fans. I hate the team because I hate the team.
Yeah,
I care about the actual result. Anyways, so it's time.
You've leveled out, Art. You've leveled out over the years.
Yeah.
And then the last series,
we got the Tigers and the Mariners. Huh?
Yep, that's the last one. Personally, I want to see the Mariners and the Yankees get into the ALCS because I want to see the two home run boppers go head to head. I think that'd be a fun storyline. Dumper versus the should be MVP. I don't know who's going to get it. I think you're going to have to give it to Cal Raleigh just because of the excitement of the season. It's just one of those, even though by the numbers, how can you deny what Judge has done all year? Which if he doesn't get hurt, he wins it still. And I think he also hits like 58 jacks. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool MLB playoff.
This could be year you pop one of the cherries for one of these MLB franchises. The Brewers have never won it, and the Mariners have never won it. I can see them getting to the Fall Classic. That'd be exciting.
I think the Tigers are gonna beat them. I think Skubal's too good. I think he's gonna pitch 2 games and he's gonna win 2 of them.
I don't know.
Maybe not pitch 2.
I was gonna say I think it would be kind of cool if. Everybody went into this season thinking the Mariners had one of the best staffs ever, and they kind of like really underperformed. I thought, like they were all right, but like Kirby got knocked around a bit and was injured. Miller got knocked around a bit and was injured. They just didn't really live up to the hype pitching this year, and I think it would be cool if they made it in. Now that they made it in, if they were able to sort of.
Brian Wu from Oakland, California.
Wu killed it. Oh, is he from Oakland?
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that killed it.
In my list.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I have the winner of the entire enchilada.
Mariners. Oh, sorry.
It's all good. Am I the only one on delay? Because I feel like you guys aren't on delay for me at all, but I can even hear myself playing back towards you. So I don't know what the hell that is. I got a damn Obi because Artie told me to do it, and it hasn't helped my situation at all. But anyways, I have the winner of all of it. I think this is the year that Aaron Judge breaks through. He didn't have the best series against the Red Sox, but if you saw what Schlittler, very difficult name to not swear when you say it, did tonight, hey, Artie, peep this. With how much you and I love Pedro Martinez and all that old school baseball back when we loved baseball, Schlittler was the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to go 8 innings, strike out 12, not allow any runs, and not allow a walk. That's ridiculous that that's the first time that that's happened. Anytime I hear anything in baseball with how long it's been played, that it's the first time ever, how did Randy Johnson never do that? How did Pedro Martinez never do that?
Right?
Playoffs.
Yeah.
So
anyways,
how did a Halladay never do that? But Halladay didn't have the K's usually. He was just incredible.
Well, Verlander. I mean, so many guys that could have done it. Anyways, I have the Yankees winning it all. I think the winner of the Dodgers-Phillies will be in the World Series, but they might wear each other out so much that they might be running on fumes, and that might be the opening that the Yankees need to get in there. I want the Tigers because my dad migrated from the Netherlands to Michigan, and my grandpa was a big Tigers fan, but I don't think they have a chance against the Mariners. I agree with you that Big Dumper versus Aaron Judge, even though I think Aaron Judge is going to win it. And then Cubs Brewers, sorry, Joe, both of those teams don't have a prayer, even if they get out of this round. The Brewers faded a lot towards the end of the year and barely held on to their 1 seed. So did the Blue Jays, for that matter. Cubs could win that series, but either the Cubs or the Brewers are going to lose to the Dodgers, Phillies. I got New York over. I'm going to go LA. They're going to revenge last year. It's going to be a run back. That's what I got.
That makes sense. I hope that's not how it plays out. But because I'd hate to see money in the title game. I'm sick of Dodgers, Yankees. One of those teams I'd like to see out and somebody else fresh in, preferably not the Dodgers, as we discussed. And from that standpoint, I actually am hoping that the Brewers can take it all the way and get in there. And if they lose to the Yankees, so be it. But I want to see Brewers. I think, to your point, Joe, a Brewers-Mariners would be a fun, refreshing World Series. That's the fan in me rooting for. I don't think that's actually going to happen. I can see probably, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be either the Phillies or the Dodgers. I think the Phillies are going to break through and beat the Dodgers, though. So I could see Phillies. I don't think it's going to be the Yankees. I feel like the Yankees they're gonna fade quick in this opening round. And so I think I'm gonna go push me on. I'm gonna go. Fuck, there's really nobody else is
what
there
you
in that.
think, not what you want.
No, you're right.
What you
Yankees,
think, not what you want.
You're right. It's Yankees. Yeah. There's nobody else.
The longer the Brewers play, the longer that we're going to have to wait to hear about who the Giants hire as their new manager. Because I can't wait to hear that we got Ricky Weeks. It's going to be really, really fun when the Giants sign Ricky Weeks to lead the ball club. That's my hope. Give me Ryan Vogelsong or Ricky
rumor?
Weeks. No, that's not a rumor, but he is a coach that is apparently a hot commodity. He's like the bench coach on the Brewers, former Brewer, young, and apparently people love him. He's apparently just a good baseball mind.
You talking about the old second baseman I used to have in fantasy?
No, that's his older brother. What? You think of Jamal Weeks?
No. We're thinking Ricky Weeks that used to bash on the Brewers. Yeah. He was bashing on the Brewers about 7-8 years ago, maybe even 5-6.
Yeah. His little brother was Jamal Weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I heard his name is being tossed around, and I kind of thought that could be fun. A young kind of just basher from the Brewers, and Brewers seem like they have a good baseball culture.
100%. You want some what the Brewers are having this year.
Yeah,
they got that magic dugout spark going on. They really they're if you're a neutral party here, the Brewers are a good team to root for, I would say.
Although if the Brewers are playing Seattle in the World Series, we might get like 900 viewers. So I'm guessing that MLB.
That might not be the alignment.
Major League Baseball wants New York and LA. But since you brought up the Giants coaching staff, I was reading this article about how this hire is going to define Posey. And I know a lot of the people on the threads were talking about how they wanted to bring Bochy back. Posey said that he's in discussions with Bochy about bringing him back into the organization, but doesn't want to be the manager. So two Giants fans in these corners of the screens, what kind of guy? I mean, I know you just said Weeks, but like, what kind of guy do you want? Do you want like an old throwback? Not like Leland would come out of retirement, and obviously they're not going to go with Bochy. But I know you don't want some guy like Kapler doing burger reviews, on Instagram the day of the game. So what kind of skipper do you want the Giants to hire? Because this might define Posey. I think the roster is a lot better than the way that they played this year.
I want a young Latino, but I'd take Ricky Weeks. I want an ex-player, but I want.
I mean, I can't believe we're not on the same thread because I've been saying I wouldn't be mad if you give me one of these young Latinos.
I want like Moises Alou comes out and does it for his for Felipe.
Benji
he comes
Molina.
in.
Get Benji Molina in the dugout now. But I like Ricky Weeks. I like the idea.
Art's been asking for Latins with flares for probably 4 years.
We're due.
All he wants is Latins with flares.
We've had a lot of Caucasian managers that have been pretty, that have done some things, but I think it's time to freshen it up in there. Get some brown in the dugout.
I'm all for it. You're not really ever buying the U.S. team to win the World Baseball Classic. I think they've pulled it off once, but you show up to that World Baseball Classic and you're looking at those other countries and you're like, I like the way these rosters look.
So you guys are A-okay with Melvin leaving?
Mm-hmm. Thank the Lord. The worst leader of God. What a dork. What a just absolute horrible tone of voice, the most boring. Yeah, we had another. You know, I really did not like Bob Melvin. I hate that I say it because when he got hired, I thought I liked it. Everything I knew about him as a not following the A's that closely, but knowing he had done great stuff in Oakland, you know, I was like, man, I like this. It's a good how they really sold it as that hum daddy bullshit. And they got me. They got me early. Then I heard him talk a couple times when they were struggling. I was like, holy shit. How can you possibly turn it around for a guy that speaks like this? The guy is so monotone, so calm, such a dork. Heliot Ramos is blowing it. Yeah, you know, but it's not because he's not trying. That guy cares about baseball so much. All he wants to do is win. He works so hard every day. I know he's made a couple bad plays, but he's going to be out there tomorrow. We're going to work our butts off. We're going to be back out there. It's like, oh, give me
multiple time manager of the year.
Well, yeah, you want a red ass. You want Will Clark out there telling Ramos to eat shit.
I don't want Will Clark. I would have wanted Will Clark until I heard his most recent interview, and you could just tell he wouldn't do a good job. He would just, unless he could actually whoop some fools into shape. But I actually really think people have changed. Climate has changed, and it wouldn't work. He would just be hating it. It wouldn't work.
Yeah. I want the calm demeanor, but a fiery personality. That's what I want. I mean, if I can't say who that would be.
Yeah.
I think Posey might be making a mistake. I don't know. I don't think Bob Melvin's a bad baseball manager.
What did he do in San Diego? He had a bunch of talent, sucked.
Well,
there was one stretch where I thought I didn't think his talent. You know what their over under in my little pool was this year? 79.5. They got 81 wins. So they weren't really over flooding with talent. Nobody thought they were going to do all that. You know, they had a nice little run at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they picked up Devers and they went cold. That's the problem is when they picked up Devers, they had a chance to make a run for it. They went cold and had to sell. And their bullpen was shit at the end of the season.
No, I think the Giants
and they're starting pitching.
I think the Giants saved their franchise with that real quick, and then you go see. I think they sort of saved the franchise with that Devers trade because the idea that you're building around Chapman and Adames was a joke. You're not building around Chapman and Adames. You got a couple lifetime 750 OPS guys. Like, come on. They cannot be who you're building around. So the fact that they got Devers, now I think you got to shift all attention, all money has to go to pitching. Like, you have enough hitting. It ain't that good. It's never been good. We can't hit for whatever reason. And I think that's who the Giants are. Go get pitching, invest in pitching. And I just think
it's the ballpark that they play in, I think, is the bottom line. Part of it. I mean, they won championships without hitting. It's because nobody else can hit in that ballpark either. So you gotta put the ball in play, and you gotta, make plays on the defense. That's the kind of team that Buster Posey knows he needs to build. So he just needs to go out and do it. And like you said, I think it was a genius move getting Devers through through a trade because a big stick like that's not going to come in free agency. It's the only way to do it.
100%.
Now we got to go get some pitching.
The team formerly known as the Indians and now the Guardians, they lost today to the Tigers. So I did hear some rumors about a possible trade with them to get Stephen Vogt. Ooh. But here's what AI says. Here's what AI says. Craig Albernaz, a former Giants bullpen and catching coach. He's seen as a highly regarded managerial prospect and has connections to catcher Patrick Bailey. Tony Vitello, the successful University of Tennessee head coach, is a dark horse candidate for his infectious energy, which is what it sounds like David wants, and familiarity with some Giants prospects, though his lack of MLB experience is a significant factor. Mark DeRosa, a former Giant and Team USA manager. DeRosa is a well-known figure who could be attractive, experienced choice. And Nick Hundley,
is he trying to manage?
Former Giants catcher and Posey's backup. Huh?
Is DeRosa trying to be a manager? Because I can see he's got the right connections.
Was that 4 white guys? That was not following David's lead. Was that 4 white guys?
There was one guy with some valves in there.
Vitello's like a white maybe he's Italian dude, right?
Yeah, maybe he's Italian. Yeah. But he's fiery. He's fiery.
Let's not go with the guy you said was connected to Bailey, because other than like 3 at-bats this year, Bailey is like the new, like, let's pretend he's really good at baseball, even though he's actually not that good at baseball, Giant. Like, we love to do that to Giants. And he is like a below average Major League Baseball player, very clearly. And we don't need 10 years of Patrick Bailey. Like, let's actually like.
Well, Aren't they going
That's
to do
the
the automatic strike zone next year?
Yeah, everybody's saying that makes it.
Well,
he's
Todd
already
Bailey
crying about it.
just eliminated his job.
Well, he's already crying about it. I mean, that just tells you how bad he is. If you're panicked about an automatic strike zone, you clearly suck.
It's also just bad for baseball. The whole framing thing is such a great part of the sport. To lose
shut it,
that.
Dave.
Are you
That's
serious?
stupid.
You want the automatic strike zone?
Yes.
Then why even
Yes,
have a
I
catcher
do.
at this point?
They're
Yes,
not
I
going
do.
to run
Get
it
it
to
to
the
me.
zone. They're going to. You're allowed to challenge. It's not going to be that simple.
A
As
ghost
home
just
daddy-
walked in your door,
as home
Art.
daddy,
Yeah,
you
I
got
was-
kids starting to come in here.
I actually
Yeah.
have
That's all right,
I
Levi,
actually have
come on in,
experience.
pal.
I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I went to a minor league game, and they were testing it out in the minor league levels. It was incredible. First of all, it's not like an automatic strike zone. What happens is the batter's there, and he can decide to challenge or not. Now, I don't know how exactly they're going to do that, whether or not the manager or a coach from the dugout has to do it, or the player can just do it. But when I watched it, first of all, I felt bad because it was a female umpire, and she probably got 18 challenges, and 17 of them she got wrong.
Oof.
And basically, I think you get a couple per inning or something like that, or maybe a couple per game even. I don't even know because she got so many wrong. But basically, as long as you're not wrong, then you can keep challenging. And what they do is the pitch comes in. If the woman calls it a strike and the batter thinks it's a ball, not the woman. If the ump, she just happened to be a woman. I really felt bad. I was rooting for her the whole time. Anyways, if the batter thinks that the call is wrong, he like puts a finger up or whatever, then they immediately, just like in tennis, Art, your mom watches a bunch of tennis and they
Worked
challenge
out
something, and then
fantastically
they
in
see if
tennis.
the,
Great
where the
example.
ball landed. Yeah. And it didn't take long. It's not like these NFL reviews where they're in the booth for like
Okay,
45
you're
minutes.
selling me
They
on it.
have it in their ear. They have it in their ear,
takes
so they
2
already know
seconds.
what
Yeah.
it is. So I have one question about the
really?
Yeah, one question about the mechanics of it. How, like, inside outside width of the plate? Understand that. The height. How do they determine what each player's height is? Is it like you get measured at the beginning of the year, like in your stance, or is it like can you like shift it around
If
during?
pretend the square's the same always on TV, exactly.
No, wait, it's changed all. You got
That's a
Ricky
good
Henderson or
question.
Aaron Judge. Which one is it? You know, it's not the same square.
Yeah.
Everyone has
I'm
always
trying to
said it's the
think when I was-
letters, it's the armpit. There's been forever a debate about where that line
Well,
is
letters
here,
to the
but it's not the
letters to the
letters.
knees
I'm
is-
pretty
The
sure it's the
letters is high.
bottom.
If you're
It's
calling
the
the
armpit.
letters, that doesn't even get called a strike for anybody. Most umpires aren't really calling it up here. I
It's
mean,
a belt,
I don't know.
really.
Well, forever there was no, like, it was the belt and they had really wide zones for a
Yeah,
long
they
time in the
changed. I
MLB,
know,
and then
now
they
they do
started to
call it,
bring
you're
in
right.
the box, and guys
Yeah,
were
now they
getting
call it.
judged,
You're
and they
right.
started calling these high pitches where
Totally.
before, like, you throw a hanging curveball and like it was just like, nah, you're not getting a
Yeah.
strike. But now
You're
those
totally
are
right.
strikes,
They
so
do
it
call it
is
all
going to
the
be a
time
little
now.
bit different.
To
I
answer
think
your-
that-
To answer your question, Joe, I don't remember the box like getting bigger or smaller based on the height of the batter. But yeah, you're right. If a guy like Craig Counsell goes up, he's not going to have the same strike zone as Aaron Judge. So I don't know how I don't know if they move it up and down. You're right. You know, vertically it should change, you know, and then horizontally
Dude, we
not
got
so much. So,
driverless
yeah,
cars.
I don't
man.
remember
we
seeing
got
a difference.
driverless cars. They figured it out.
I think
they got-
most hitters, though, instinctually know if the ball's inside, outside, and low, and the high pitch has always been a little bit of I'm not sure. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys
Mhm.
challenging those ones as much, but it'll be interesting to see if there's
True.
any commonality between what guys are seeing. Because ultimately, like, what can an umpire see best? The high pitch. Everything else gets more difficult for the umpire. So they're probably more likely to make mistakes on the low
Being
and
an
then the
umpire was
inside,
so
outside.
fun. You get behind that dish, you find a pitcher you like, you widen up that zone. You see how I feel he's really hitting the spot.
Yeah, I
Let's
know
give
it.
this kid 6 inches.
I
Oh,
knew
he's
it.
hitting that 6 inches. Let's give him 8. Let's see if he can hit 8 inches off the
Artie,
plate.
I remember
this
you
is-
used
yeah,
to
this
umpire my games, and I used to just keep moving it out a little bit further and see
this
what can
is-
I get away with.
This is why you guys are ex-umpires. This is ridiculous. Like, do you remember like Tom Glavine in the World Series? He just kept moving it out. Like, you should be able to earn your strikes
Yeah.
by if it's a strike or it's not a strike. You should be able to earn it. Like, oh, LeBron James has been in the league longer, so we're going to give him that foul. He's earned it. I hate that shit. It's a foul or it's not a foul.
Joe, that was the art of pitching.
Even more fun than rewarding a pitcher you were enjoying was just squeezing the shit out of somebody. You got some little punk on the hill that's been giving you a hard time in the season. You just look that kid in the face, little 12-year-old Art looking at a little 9-year-old. And I won't even name names. We don't want to get them unhappy, you know, but you just look that kid in the eye and you go, ball. Kid can't believe it. Shot right down the heart, ball. You're gonna have a tough day out there, pal.
And this is exactly why we need automatic umps.
Exactly.
Pete Benton, quick story. Pete Benton, you know, he was managing all the umpires, right? And I had just called a game against the White Sox. I'm umpiring Bronco, and the team loses, and he's arguing with me, telling me I'm the worst umpire. You know, he's really in my ear, and mind you, totally blown a call. I'm pretty sure I called the game over on the infield fly rule with 2 outs or something. Like I did something egregious, right? I think like two runs down, bottom of the 7th inning, bases loaded, and I do something terrible, right?
You mentally had already left the field.
Guy's been in my ear too long. He's ripping into me, blah, 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 blah. And I just finally, I've had enough. And I look at this guy. I said, hey, I guarantee you I get your game next week, and I guarantee you lose. How about that? I'm going to get your game, and you're going to lose. And I turn around, and Pete Benton is just 2 feet behind me, suspended for about a month from umpiring. Long talking to. Guy could not believe what he was hearing. Just 13-year-old me face to face with the White Sox umpire telling him, you're toast next week, pal. I'm going to get you. I'm going to be behind the dish, and you're losing.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's
Those
good.
are good times. Castro Park.
Those are good times.
Castro Park.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good ending note, Dave.
Yeah, I think that was a great story to end this one on. I appreciate the artistic ending here on a Hum Daddies Thursday night featuring Zakariah. Thanks, Joe, for getting in there. What a great Niner victory. Any final thoughts, Joe?
God bless the Niners. I can't believe we won. We're 4-1. It's a miracle. Get well, Mac Jones.
Z, closing thoughts?
I mean, talk about the NFC West putting themselves on the map in terms of the global reach. Back-to-back weeks, 2 very exciting games, Seahawks and Cardinals, and then Niners Rams. So look, it's a tough division. I don't think it's the best division. Everybody says that their own division is the best division. I think it's probably on the lower end of the divisions in football. But hey, I hate to be as cliche as I'm going to be, but the bottom line is, if you're a Niners fan, a win is a win. And if you're winning with a mass unit and all these guys as banged up as they are, you don't care how you get the wins. You're definitely not going to be thinking about it at the end of the year when you're fighting for a playoff spot, like, oh, in week 5 or whatever, Kyron fumbled on the 1-yard line. You're just going to be like, we need to win this game, or you'll try to get better seating or whatever. It doesn't matter. So if you're a Niners fan, you're thrilled you got 10 days to get better. You hope some guys come back. And then the only thing you might be facing, and maybe Artie will end with this, is quarterback controversy, but that's a good problem to have.
Art, following your suspension from ECYB, final thoughts?
Man, final thought. Hell of a football game. Niners look really, really good. If they win in Tampa Bay, I'm going to be pretty excited. That's about all I got.
No quarterback controversy that would bring you back to the fandom in the Bay Area for the Niners, huh?
I like the Niners quite a bit. I probably am going to become more and more of a 49ers fan because I care about my kids more than I care about myself, and they like the Niners. So I'm having some small arguments with Levi once in a while, telling him, the Chiefs are a very favorite team of yours. Like you might want to think about the Chiefs too, but he's hearing so much about
why
the Niners.
Why do they like the Niners?
He likes the Niners, but he loves me so much that he tells me he has 2 favorite teams. But I can tell he likes the Niners.
But why? Why does he like them?
Because they're the Bay Area's team. He hears about the Niners. Everybody talks about the Niners. Nobody cares about the Chiefs. They all hate the Chiefs.
But he's in a Chiefs household. He's in a Chiefs household.
Yeah, but he's a 6-year-old around people at school, around people at
I got
people
you.
Who watch him. They all love the Niners, and he's hearing about the Niners. So
I hear you.
If he's
he'll have the consistency of getting to wear red wherever he goes. So hey,
Milo, who you like, the Chiefs or the Niners? Who you like, Chiefs or Niners?
This is his daughter.
Niners.
Nice. And with that, we'll close it out. Go Niners, baby. All right, guys.
ThurZdee.
Good seeing you. See you next week.